Welcome to The Resistance, where we explore the internal forces that prevent us from achieving our most important work. It is late, 11:34 p.m., and the apartment is dark, illuminated only by the cold blue glow of a computer monitor. The cursor blinks, taunting him, as Thomas remains frozen, unable to click the application despite his hand being on the mouse. You know exactly what you need to do. You don't need more clarity, inspiration, or another how-to video. The instruction manual is already in your head, nagging at you right now, a persistent, dull ache behind your eyes. You know that if you just spent 1 hour on that thing, that one thing you are avoiding, your entire life would begin to shift, but you don't do it. You are paralyzed. He opens a new tab, seeking YouTube, Reddit, or news, anything to numb the ache. Why do you do this? Why do you actively, systematically ruin your own life? You tell yourself it's because you are lazy or lack discipline, willpower, or drive, but this is a lie. Laziness is passive and blissful. A truly lazy person is perfectly happy doing nothing, but you are miserable doing nothing. What you are doing is not passive. It is highly active, taking immense, draining energy to constantly negotiate with yourself. He whispers to himself, "I'll just do it tomorrow. I'm too tired now. I need to be fresh. It needs to be perfect." You are not lazy. You are at war, currently losing to an enemy you don't even know exists. There is a force inside you actively opposed to your growth, which religious texts call the demon, psychology calls self-sabotage, and Stephen Pressfield named the resistance. Resistance is not a metaphor. You must stop treating it like a bad habit and start treating it like a real, living, intelligent entity that lives inside your own mind. Its sole purpose is to stop you from doing your great work. It wants you small, silent, and asleep. It is the most dangerous enemy you will ever face because it has one terrifying advantage. It knows you better than you know yourself. Resistance uses your best qualities against you, like Thomas's intelligence, which it uses to overanalyze every catastrophic outcome until he is paralyzed by fear. It uses his high standards, disguised as perfectionism, to tell him, if you can't do it perfectly right now, don't even start. Resistance even disguises itself as self-care, whispering, "You've worked hard. You deserve a break," even when the real work hasn't begun. Resistance is a shapeshifter. It will take any form it needs to in order to deceive you. It will be procrastination, rationalization, anxiety, or even manifest as physical sickness the day you are supposed to launch your project. It will promise you anything, comfort, safety, relief, as long as you do not do the work today. It is constantly telling you the one great lie. You can always do it tomorrow. Back to the present. It is now 1 a.m., and Thomas has done nothing. He closes the laptop, and the room goes pitch black. He sits in the dark, totally defeated, as the enemy won today again. The first step in winning a war is recognizing that you are in one. Stop calling it poor time management. Start calling it what it is, internal warfare. You have an enemy living in your head that is trying to kill your potential. It's time to stop negotiating with it. In part 2, we are going to learn why it wants you dead. This is the resistance hangover, that specific, sickening feeling of having betrayed yourself again after promising to do something important. It's the heavy weight of unfulfilled potential that settles in after you've once again failed to follow through on your commitments to yourself. You wake up to sunlight streaming harshly into an apartment, exposing the mess, feeling groggy and heavy, disappointed in yourself to the point of nausea. The morning light cruelly illuminates the disarray, mirroring the internal chaos and self-reproach you feel for not having done what you said you would. The inner critic then takes over, telling you that you're just a talker, that you don't have what it takes, and that you might as well give up now. This voice relentlessly reminds you of past failures, reinforcing the belief that you are inherently incapable of achieving your goals. You start to believe this struggle proves you are broken, thinking that if you were meant to do this great work, it would feel easy and flow naturally. This pervasive thought convinces you that the difficulty you face is a sign of your inadequacy, rather than a natural part of any significant endeavor. This is the single greatest lie resistance tells you, because resistance is not proof you are on the wrong path. It's proof you are on the right one. It's a deceptive whisper that tries to steer you away from your true calling, making you doubt your capabilities and the validity of your aspirations. You never feel resistance to things that are easy, like eating ice cream or scrolling Instagram for hours. It only appears when you're about to grow. These effortless activities require no willpower, highlighting that true resistance emerges only when you are on the verge of meaningful personal development. Resistance is a magnetized needle that always points true north, indicating the direction of your most significant growth. It acts as an internal compass, guiding you towards the challenges and opportunities that will ultimately lead to your greatest evolution and fulfillment. The more important a call or action is to your soul's evolution, the more resistance you will feel toward pursuing it. This intense opposition is a direct measure of the profound impact and transformative potential that the task holds for your personal and spiritual development. If you are terrified of writing that book or launching that business, it means you must do it. The fear is a sign of significance. This fear is not a deterrent, but an indicator that you are on the cusp of something truly meaningful, something that will challenge and ultimately define you. Resistance is like a dragon guarding a cave. It doesn't guard empty caves, only the gold, signifying that something valuable lies beyond the fear. This powerful metaphor illustrates that the presence of resistance confirms the immense worth of what you are striving for, urging you to push past the guardian. Back in reality, Thomas sits at his desk, still feeling the fear, but now understanding it differently. He isn't broken, he's just close to the gold. This newfound perspective allows him to reframe his internal struggle, recognizing that his apprehension is a sign of proximity to his true potential. Our brain isn't designed for success, but for survival. To your ancient lizard brain, unknown equals danger. This primal instinct prioritizes safety above all else, interpreting any deviation from the familiar as a potential threat to your existence. Growth means change, and change means entering the unknown. So to your brain, growth equals death, and resistance is trying to save you. This protective mechanism, though well-intentioned, actively works against your personal evolution by equating new experiences with existential threats. It's a misguided, overprotective parent that would rather see you miserable and safe in the basement than risking your life out in the world. This analogy highlights the brain's tendency to keep you in a state of comfortable stagnation, preventing you from experiencing the vibrant, challenging, and rewarding aspects of life beyond your comfort zone. This is the deepest truth of the war. Resistance is the ego's terror of its own death. It is the desperate struggle of your current self to maintain its identity and avoid the profound transformation that true growth demands. If you actually write that book, get in shape, or start that business, you will not be the same person you are today. These significant achievements necessitate a fundamental shift in who you are, leading to the emergence of a new, more evolved version of yourself. The you addicted to comfort, playing the victim, or staying small to stay safe, that you will have to die. This old self, characterized by limiting beliefs and self-sabotaging behaviors, must be shed to make way for the person you are destined to become. It is fighting for its life, using every weapon it has, fear, procrastination, self-doubt, to stop you from killing it. This internal battle is fierce, as your ego employs all its defenses to prevent the demise of the familiar, even if that familiarity is holding you back. You now know who the enemy is and why it is fighting you so hard. It is terrified of your potential. Understanding this internal adversary empowers you to recognize its tactics and realize that its resistance is a testament to the incredible power and impact you are capable of achieving. Now, it is time to stop analyzing the war and start fighting it. In part 3, we pick up the sword. This marks a pivotal moment, moving from introspection to decisive action, as you prepare to confront and overcome the resistance that stands between you and your true self. Welcome to the Invisible War, Part 3, Turning Pro. Today, we delve into the critical mindset shift required to conquer the internal battles that often sabotage our greatest aspirations. Look at how you show up to the war. You show up late, unprepared, bringing all your distractions into the trenches of your work. You are treating your great work like a hobby, something you do only when you feel like it. This approach makes you an easy target for resistance. Resistance thrives on amateurs. They wait for inspiration, demand perfection before starting, and quit the moment things get difficult. If you truly want to win this invisible war, you must make the single most important psychological shift of your life. You have to turn pro. Consider the stark contrast. The amateur hits snooze 3 times, delaying the day's start, while the professional rises with the first alarm, even when tired. The amateur waits for inspiration to strike before writing, often leading to endless delays. The professional, however, sits down at 9 a.m. sharp, regardless of how they feel, and begins to type. The amateur skips the gym because of a little rain, letting external factors dictate their commitment. The professional goes precisely because it's raining, understanding that resistance is actively trying to stop them. Turning pro isn't about financial gain. It's a profound mindset shift. A professional doesn't passively wait for inspiration. They actively anticipate and create the conditions for it. They understand that resistance is strongest just before they begin, so they don't engage in negotiations. They don't allow it time to whisper doubts. Instead, they simply sit down, commit to the task, do the necessary work, and see it through to completion. A professional treats their deepest dreams with the same unwavering respect they give their day job. You wouldn't call your boss to say you're not coming in because you're not feeling the vibe. Such an excuse would lead to immediate termination. So why do we so readily accept that same flimsy excuse from ourselves when it comes to our personal aspirations? Now, let's see Thomas, ready to embrace the professional mindset. He approaches his desk with a new resolve. He takes his phone, not just placing it face down, but turning it completely off and moving it to another room, eliminating a major source of distraction. He systematically closes all unnecessary browser tabs, leaving only the essential one open for his task. His focus narrows. He clears his desk, removing clutter and creating a pristine workspace. This physical act mirrors his mental preparation. Finally, he changes out of his pajamas and puts on real clothes, symbolically suiting up for the battle ahead, ready to engage. You must actively weaponize your environment against resistance. It thrives on distraction, so you must starve it of its fuel. Create total silence, cultivate absolute focus, and eliminate all potential escape routes. Burn the boats, leaving no option but forward. If you plan to write for an hour, unplug the internet. If you intend to exercise, pack your bag the night before, removing any morning excuses. Stop trusting your future self to do the right thing. Your future self is often just as lazy and scared as you are right now. Lock him in. The professional knows a crucial truth the amateur doesn't. The war against resistance never truly ends. It's a continuous battle. You will experience fear every single day for the rest of your life. The objective isn't to eradicate fear, but to prevent it from dictating your choices. You don't need to feel good to produce good work. You can be scared, tired, anxious, or even depressed, and still choose to show up. That, in itself, is the victory. Not the flawless finished product, but the consistent, courageous act of simply showing up. Thomas finishes his dedicated hour of deep work. He closes his laptop, not with triumph, but with quiet satisfaction. He didn't write a masterpiece, perhaps just 500 mediocre words, but he won the day. He takes a deep, cleansing breath, looking stronger, more centered. You have fought and won the battle for today. But remember, tomorrow, the enemy will return smarter and hungrier than before. You will have to engage in this fight all over again. This sounds exhausting, and it is. Yet, it is infinitely superior to the alternative. In Part 4 of The Invisible War, we will explore the profound and often devastating cost of losing this ongoing battle against resistance. Imagine a future 50 years from now, where you find yourself in a quiet, sterile room, safe and comfortable, yet filled with an unbearable pain of absolute, irreversible regret. This is the ultimate stake. If you lose the war against resistance, you don't just fail at a project, you fail at your life. Resistance doesn't aim for a dramatic crash and burn. It seeks to slowly, quietly, and comfortably drift you into oblivion. It wants you to reach the end of your life safely, having never truly lived it, having never fought for what truly mattered. Someone once defined hell as this: on your last day on earth, the person you became meets the person you could have become. Right now, your choices are determining what that meeting will be like. Will they be strangers, or identical twins. Every time you succumb to resistance today, you drift further from that potential self, killing him day by day, hour by hour. You must wake up. You are acting as if you have infinite time, as if this is merely a rehearsal. It is not. This is it. This is the show. Resistance banks on you thinking, I can do it tomorrow. But one day, you will run out of tomorrows. On that day, only the work you actually finished will matter. Not the work you planned, not the work you intended, but only the work you did. The war is hard, painful, and demands everything you have. But the pain of this war is infinitely better than the pain of regret. Discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. Choose your pain wisely. Do not let resistance steal your life while you are busy making other plans. He pauses, looking at his reflection in the dark monitor, remembering the old man in the wheelchair. He shakes his head, a silent "not today," and turns back to the screen, continuing to type. The enemy is at the gate. It is patient, ruthless, and wants to kill your future. What will you do about it? Grab your sword. The war begins now. Do the work.